Hi, my name is Yilda Zilkan, and I'm doing another insert today. This one is has to do with the story of Cluster 3, and it my portion started in 2003. I was researching Iraq for ethics and war, and when I got a little too close, the Pentagon told me to stop. Immediately, I did because I'm very, very highly legal, but by fluke, I have an estranged brother. He's a sibling who was working on Turkology at that same particular time, around that same period. And this is how this story began, in the authentic version. And again, there's no marketing, there's no nothing. It's a preview as to how we're gonna take negative and make it positive. When she got the title of prophet. Now, this is, as we continue it further, we're going to talk about events that went on, but I'm going to omit the 1998 up to when it went to court in 2013 with me for the trademark of Kanata means wings. So, what I was combating all these years is ethics and betterment, morality and womb, and legality and alternative trains of thought, and prisoners and food industry, big projects that over the years, doing years of social work, that is where it stems from. The hidden combat inside Canada is linked to the Iraq war. Now, like I said, I'm going to take out a whole chunk of it because that involves the Pentagon and that involves CSIS, and I don't want to get involved in that. I already got horrifically injured to begin with. What I'm trying to do, so that the public understands, is grab it at the nip uh, of the Alaskan levee break. Orthodox Jews did not see it that way, neither did the Ashkenazis, neither did any other weaponry owners. And the reason is I wanted to push the anthropology portion of the work, but the story became so long and convoluted, and media just did time delay on it so that they can take the anthropology and give it to the blacks, and they can take the linguistic and give it to another community, and they were selling while I was horrifically injured in building the Sun collection. Now, why was I building it? I was building it as an alternative source for revenue for future. It's part of the real evolve in the authentic story. And this is a peak, it's a gift for humanity, and why it went back and forth. So there's a quote of mine that indicates, Lucifer, I'm more important than Christ, Mandela, and Ataturk. You will understand when we do the movie because it's actually grabbing it at the root and battling China and battling India not to do the crap that they were pulling when that triangle between Anatolia, China, and India started fighting. And they were fighting not just for the content of the Sun collection, but for medical devices. And then Russia went into it, and then the Americans went into it, and then the last cluster was Canada. And this is why this production was done with such immense stress. It's highly, very, very stressful because, you know, you're trying to explain certain things, but it's so damn male oriented. They want nothing to do with women. Immediately, people started fighting and, got into it and changing around, and Anatolia got laws on, and and they made it a love story and whatever the case is. But in the authentic version, it was very, very ugly. And hopefully when we do the televised version, now I'm doing these things very rapidly because by doing this you get a chance to see or understand the true nature. Today, when you're walking around Canada, uh, it looks like nothing has happened. In fact, they have umbrellas out, they're drinking beer on the side corners, like very, very artificial, for the fact that someone spent millions of dollars to his benefit, covering it, protecting the position of their own positions. But what they did was a complete disaster to human and humanity, and we extinct certain races in the process. And it made the military want to just commit suicide in the United States and Canada. Now, again, media was pushing a completely different story, and they burnt so many females for that production of their own, and that was also horrific. So here is someone that experienced back and forth, up and down the cluster wars that went on, and they wanted to do it World War III. They wanted to change it around, and why I'm asking them not to is because by interjecting again, now it's another interjection, by doing it again, interjecting, that buys time for them to rechange it 100 years from now, giving the public, thousands or millions of people out there, a chance to build with them, versus them generating a lethal story that is not in accurate essence. And why am I trying to pull the revenue, the capital back to Canada, back to myself, is because firstly, it's legally owned. So the fraud they did, and they didn't care, was lethal. The injury they did and the time delay they did was all part of watering down the project, to be able to do the typical things that Jews do. So it's one apple for John, one banana for Mary, one candy for Jane. Like the distribution of 70 journals that are very, very important, that they should be kept together for the sake of what Hanna generated as number two, which is Vatican number two, when she was able to do that. Now, how did she do it? She did that because she actually has sensory, a bizarre type that is able to clue in things because of possibly experience in the business field. Remember, she's an office girl. Whether it's different linguistics or how she was raised by the Black community, different religions. She was bizarrely picked by the skies. And when we do the movie, you'll actually get a chance to really understand the magnitude of what hit Earth, with all her projections. So thank you, and hope you can support it, this project. Thanks.